Hey guys, Brian, Mr. SF Studios. Time to give the old Vega an oil change. So I'll take you along on that journey. So with the car jacked up and on a jack stand for safety, you put your drain pan under your drain plug. Like that. And let that dirty oil out. Look at how brown it is. If it's brown, it's going down. That's my motto. And I drove the car. Always warm your car up before you do your oil change. Go for a nice drive. Get that oil toasty so that all the goop and crud comes flowing out. Here's my oil plug. It's got a magnetic thing, a little core. You can get magnetic plugs for every engine, but you see the little dust that sticks to it? That's all bits of metal, like from the camshaft or from piston rings or whatever, so it's interesting to look at. You clean off the magnet and you can see what metal loss you've had. See, that little black dot, that's just metal dust. That would normally circulate in the engine, but these magnets collect it. So on the Vega 2300, the oil filter is on the driver's side, right here at the front of the motor. So I put my socket wrench on an extension to the oil filter ring clamp, and now I can take it off. And it's like anything, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So we want to go this way. You want to turn it. Okay, with it, the wrench, the oil filter wrench, loosened it. Now you just unscrew it by hand. You want to make sure you put another oil pan down under it because it's going to make a mess. Here it goes, making a mess. Catch all the runoff. And you just unscrew it like a big light bulb. There it is. There's your oil filter. Now look at that. There we go. You just get it out. And we got a new filter at Napa. I got a Napa Gold. Uses the same oil filter as a Chevy small block from the 70s. Because this helps it have oil at startup so that the filter doesn't have to fill up the oil filter. It'll already be full of oil. Don't go to the top though, because you are going to turn it sideways and you will spill some. So it's good. I've got the mounting ring all wiped down with a rag, and we can just put our new oil filter into position. Finagle it past the idler arm and screw it on, just like so. Make sure it's on the threads. Screw it in. You can take it as far as you can by hand and then just give it like a little quarter turn with the wrench to make sure it's on there good. You don't want to super torque it on though, or you may have a devil of a time getting it off later. We'll just wipe off the last little drippy drips and put our magnetic plug back on. We'll just make sure that it's clean, and we'll put it in the hole. Do it by hand, and then just give it a little tight touch with the wrench to make sure it's on tight and won't come off. You don't want to over tighten this. You don't want to strip anything or damage it, but you know, you'll know. You feel it. Like if it's not going to go anymore, don't push on it. You're good. So that's good. Now we can lube while we're under here. Lubing requires a grease gun. And what you do is you push the little grease gun onto these zerks, is what these are called. And you give it a pump or two until you see some grease seeping out of the joint here. So before you go sticking the grease gun onto the zerk, wipe them down. Get the grime and junk off. That, get a nice shiny zerk. There should be one under there for the ball joint. Yeah, there is. Heck, there's even an upper ball joint. So this is how you grease it. You just push this up till it locks. You'll hear it click like that. And then you give it a squeeze or two of grease. You'll see the little rubber boot move, and when it does, then you know you've put enough grease in there. There, like some's coming out the end, so that one's good. And the side's the same. Just get the Idler, tie rods, everything. That's plenty. Twist, turn, pull. Ugh. God, this new one's hard to get off. Ball joint. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Nothing coming out, so. Okay, with it jacked up and both wheels off the ground, you can turn the ignition on and turn it all the way to the right. Okay, I'm going to turn off the ignition. Now we can get to that Zerk on the center link. Let's see what I mean here. There's a Zerk right here, see? And we wouldn't have been able to reach that with it on the ground. Then when we're done with that, we'll do the same, but we'll turn it the other way and we'll get to that Zerk that's inside the center link. So it may be easier to take the grease gun like this and put it through the K-member so that you can reach that Zerk. See, the tube can go up. When you're all done with greasing all the Zerks, turn your ignition on again. Straighten your wheel so that when you drop it, it's facing straight again. And everything's greased and wiped down and clean and everything's happy, you know, and you're good. You can take your jack stands out and lower the car down on the ground slowly. Easy. Nice and easy. Back on the ground. There we are. Back to earth. Now we're ready to fill. It's always best just to buy the gallon jug of oil. That way you have a little spare and you get the better price anyway. And they're super handy. They got marks on the back of the bottle that tell you how much you've poured into the motor. So you put in 4 quarts. 4-cylinder 4 quarts, V6 4.5 quarts, V8 5 quarts. You take your funnel out, wipe off this area, wipe off your lid, your cap, and put it on. There you go, fresh oil, fresh filter, good for another year, maybe a year. Oh yeah, and then the waste oil. You want to collect your waste oil in a container and take it to your toxic waste reclamation center or to an auto parts store. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Be well.